I think it's finally safe to say that spring has sprung in the district. Now, I say this as somebody who has lived in the Netherlands, in Michigan, even in Chicago, but this past winter here in DC was awful, absolutely brutal. I think there's still some snowcrete left in places. But the weather is getting warmer and nature is healing. The tulips are blooming, the birds are chirping. And of course, in Washington, D.C., spring means cherry blossoms. Now, yes, there are other places in the United States that have large collections of cherry blossoms. I visited one recently, subscribe to see that video. But DC is famous for them. How did that happen? It started in the late 19th century when a team of American and Japanese scientists, as well as some prominent women in Washington, D.C., came together to fundraise to bring some over from Japan. The first batch of cherry blossom trees that were donated to the States by Japan in 1910 unfortunately perished due to a parasite, but the next batch in the 1920s survived and is still here today. It has weathered the tumultuous relationship between the United States and Japan and currently serves as a symbol for the strong friendship. In fact, this year, the Japanese Prime Minister gave 250 additional trees to Washington, D.C. to commemorate America's 250th birthday. The cherry blossoms are a huge magnet for visitors. And so, if you want to see them, there are some tips for how to avoid the worst crowds. During peak bloom, we like to go to the tidal basin very early in the morning. However, it's also worth going a few days before peak bloom is announced, because they're just as beautiful then. And of course, try exploring a part of the city with some blossoming trees. It's not the tidal basin. They are everywhere. And sometimes, tucked into these beautiful old streets, they really get the chance to shine. Since 1934, Washington, D.C. has hosted the National Cherry Blossom Festival, which includes a parade, performances, special artwork, and Metro joins in on the fun with special Cherry Blossom Smart Trip cards, merch, and cherry blossom trains. So it's that time of year again. The cherry blossoms are just a few weeks away. The date of filming is March 20th, 2026. The cherry blossom train and bus are now officially out, so we can catch those and we can get our cherry blossom smart trip for this year. So I'm at Smithsonian Station, one of the stations that sells those cards. Let's go get ours. The Cherry Blossom Smart Trips are always available at several stations across the system that are popular with tourists. You can find which fare machines sell them by looking at the poster above. This year's card features the artwork America in Bloom by artist Tim Yankee. Another thing we did was go to the Metro pop-up shop. This is basically their temporary merch shop that pops up several times a year. Housed next to their headquarters at L'Enfant Plaza, they had so many cool items of clothing, magnets, toys, bags, you name it, they had it. They did run out of things very quickly, I noticed, so hopefully for future pop-up shops, they can adjust the amount of inventory that they order. Now, it's become tradition when I make these cherry blossom videos to talk about all the special wraps that Metro has put on their trains and buses since the last cherry blossom season. And recently I got the chance to talk to a WMATA employee who said this is one of his favorite things that I do on the channel. So that felt good to hear. Anyway, in 2025 and 2026, we even got some extra wraps, so let's go through them. First, of course, in June, there was the Pride wrap, which I hate to start on a bad note, but in past years, these have been really cool. This one seemed kind of low effort. I'm really sorry. That was not the case with the 4th of July wrap. I really like this one. That blue with the fans, it was beautiful.
Step back, doors closing.
Then in the fall, we got a special wrap celebrating the fact that the American Public Transportation Association, or APTA, had awarded Metro the award for Outstanding Transit System. Following that was the Veterans Day train and bus, and after that, for the holidays, the Christmas train and bus. Now, the Christmas train was red this year. It's been brown and it's been blue. I wish I was on the team that designed these. It looks like a lot of fun. Around Christmas time, I made a comment saying that it felt like being transported inside a donut box. Then, of course, the cherry blossom wrap. Buses, trains, oh, even a bicycle with cherry blossoms on it? That reminds me, I need to talk about bikes really quick. So there are many things to celebrate this year at cherry blossom season, but there are also struggles, like the 15th Street bike lanes, which the federal government was planning to rip out. They were supposed to remove it Monday, March 23rd. Thankfully, a lawsuit stepped in, and now pending the outcome of that case, the bike lane is still there, which is good because it's the busiest bike lane in the city. It saved so many lives. And you know why they were going to tear it out? Because it was impacting traffic going to the cherry blossoms. Like, are you serious? Everybody knows the best way to see the cherry blossoms is by car. You'll have a lot of time to look at them. The argument is that this busy bike lane causes all of the congestion here, and that it is time to return to, quote, common sense city planning. I have literally seen more bicycles than cars in the last 10 minutes. Like, every minute, the number of bikes that goes through is insane. All right, so there is some good news. I deliberately held off on publishing this video until I knew what the result of the court case was gonna be, and the cyclists won. A judge ruled that they cannot rip out the bike lane, so it is here to stay. Congratulations to everybody who fought diligently to protect what truly is common sense transportation policy. Anyway, back to the cherry blossom bus and Metro. Every year they do a different wrap, and this year there's a dark blue base with white and pink cherry blossoms, I think stylized to kind of resemble a Metro map. Oh, there's some dragonflies too. It's a very nice design. I think last year's design is still my favorite, but this one is definitely up there. Like last year, I wanted to get a shot of it crossing the Potomac River, ideally with some cherry blossoms in the shot. But since the yellow line this year now runs to Greenbelt, by the time I got to the bridge, the train had switched to becoming a southbound Green Line train, and I missed my opportunity to film it. But there is something to be said for all the shots inside the tunnels. After all, these cavernous stations are a defining feature of the DC Metro. Additionally, right during cherry blossom season, Metro also celebrated their 50th anniversary. That's right, the system opened on March 27th, 1976. Now, to celebrate that, they also brought out a special 50th anniversary wrap. Look how classy it is. Am I the only person who's being reminded of like coffee packaging when I see this? Anyway, it made its debut on the 27th, running from Farragut North Station to Glenmont. And from Farragut North to Rhode Island Avenue, the first 3 cars were reserved for winners of a specific contest.
Trailing 5, last trailing 5 doors. Please move back to the last trailing 5 cars.
In fact, the police in no uncertain terms were pushing people away from the front of the platform without really explaining what was going on. I saw quite a few confused faces. I don't know, I'm glad Metro did something to celebrate this milestone. Hopefully the team who decided to have 3 cars in an 8-car train shut off, but the rest of the cars in service during rush hour on the busiest section, on the busiest line, took some notes for next time. The delays were pretty impressive. And that's the cherry blossom video for this year. Every year, I enjoy coming to see all the flowers in bloom. It's a reminder of the good things that are to come. I'm grateful to live in a city with a transit system that lets me get to all these cool places without needing to own a car. Hopefully, that's a future that we can keep fighting for. Love to take my bike to see the cherry blossoms again next year. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.